Toyota just did the unthinkable. This new engine could destroy electric cars for good. While Elon Musk pushes for a world powered by batteries, Toyota just unveiled a gas engine so advanced it makes EVs look outdated. Tune in because what happens next might just change everything we thought we knew about cars. Toyota has been around the block a few times. It did not just stumble into making one of the most advanced engines of all time. This company has been perfecting the art of car making since it first started in the 1930s. Toyota's whole approach has been about making cars that last forever, work perfectly, and are cheap to run. It is why they became one of the biggest names in the world. And now they are pulling off their biggest trick yet, bringing back the gas engine in a way no one saw coming. A breakthrough so bold, so game-changing, it might just rewrite the future of internal combustion itself. The foundation of Toyota's success comes from the way it builds cars. They do not just throw things together and hope for the best. They pioneered a system that focuses on making everything efficient, cutting waste, and getting the most out of every part. It is the reason their cars are known for running hundreds of thousands of miles without a hitch. When Toyota decides to change something, they do not do it halfway. They refine, test, and tweak until they get it just right. That is exactly what they have done with this new engine. Toyota has made some of the most famous engines in the world. Back in the 1930s, they kicked things off with a straight-six engine that powered their first real passenger car. It was not flashy, but it set the stage for everything that came after. Then came the R-Series engines in the 1950s, which powered everything from sedans to off-road beasts. These engines were not just reliable, they were practically unbreakable. Then in the 1990s, Toyota dropped a bomb on the performance world. They rolled out the JZ series and suddenly they had the best performance engines money could buy. The 1JZ was a twin-turbo inline-six that made serious power while staying smooth as silk. Then came the 2JZ, a 3.0-liter twin-turbo monster that was so overbuilt it could handle over 1,000 horsepower with just a few upgrades. This engine was a legend, powering the Toyota Supra and becoming the go-to choice for speed junkies everywhere. Toyota did not stop there. While they were perfecting performance, they also became the kings of hybrid technology. In the late 1990s, they shocked the world with the Prius, the first mass-produced hybrid. While everyone else laughed at the idea of mixing a gas engine with an electric motor, Toyota made it work. They refined the technology, adding it to cars like the Camry, RAV4, and Highlander, proving that hybrids could be powerful and efficient. This is not just another attempt to keep combustion engines alive. It is a game changer that could completely flip the script on the electric revolution. For years, car companies have been racing to ditch gas and go fully electric. But Toyota never bought into the idea completely. They saw the problems: batteries that degrade, long charging times, and a lack of charging stations. While everyone else was betting on electric, Toyota was working on an engine that could crush those problems without sacrificing power or efficiency. Toyota's history of making tough, reliable engines means they knew exactly what they were doing with this new design. Over the decades, they have built engines that last forever, from the indestructible diesel engines in their Land Cruisers to the high-revving four-cylinders in their lightweight sports cars. They have mastered efficiency with hybrid technology and pushed the limits of performance with turbocharged beasts. Now they are combining all that knowledge into a single engine that does it all. This is not the first time Toyota has shocked the world with an engine. In the 1980s, they created the 4A, a small but high-revving engine that became legendary among racers. It powered the AE86, a car that still has a cult following today. Then in the early 2000s, they took diesel engines to a new level with the 1KDF-TV, a 3.0-liter turbo engine that powered the Hilux and Land Cruiser Prado. These engines were built to survive anything, from desert heat to freezing mountains. Toyota's new engine is built using cutting-edge materials that make it lighter and stronger. It burns fuel more efficiently, squeezing out every bit of power while keeping emissions low. Energy while producing fewer emissions. Unlike electric cars that depend on a power grid, this engine gives drivers freedom, letting them refuel quickly and keep going without worrying about charging stations. It is designed to last, keeping Toyota's tradition of durability alive while pushing technology forward. One of the biggest advantages of this new engine is its ability to work with different fuel types. Toyota has been experimenting with synthetic fuels and hydrogen-based combustion, which means this engine could run cleaner without sacrificing power. Instead of forcing drivers to switch to electric, Toyota is offering a real alternative, one that fits into existing infrastructure and does not require massive changes to the way people drive. Toyota isn't just keeping gas engines alive, they're taking them further. Why did Toyota never buy into the electric hype? Back in the day, car makers had to figure out how to squeeze out more power while burning less fuel. The Japanese automaker saw this coming and got ahead of the game. They rolled out something called variable valve timing, which sounds fancy, but really it just means the engine's brain constantly tweaks when the valves open and close. That little trick helped the company's engines breathe better at any speed, saving gas and adding a little pep to the ride. It hit the scene in the late 1990s, showing up in engines like the 1.8-liter 1 ZZFE and the high-revving 2 ZZGE. These motors packed more punch without slurping up extra fuel. Then a few years later, the car giant cranked it up again. They added a double injection system, one that squirts fuel right into the cylinder and another that sprays it into the intake. The result? Smoother power, better mileage, and fewer nasty fumes puffing out the exhaust. This setup, known as direct and port fuel injection, made its way into performance engines like the 3.5-liter six-cylinder 2GRFSE, giving the brand's luxury models a solid mix of muscle and efficiency. But the company wasn't stopping there. By the late 1990s, the automaker was thinking even bigger. Gas prices were climbing, pollution rules were tightening, and people wanted cars that could go further on a tank. Enter a vehicle that changed the game. This little hatchback wasn't just different, it was revolutionary. Instead of running on just a gas engine, it had a small electric motor that worked together with a 1.5-liter engine. The two power sources took turns, or sometimes worked together to stretch every drop of fuel. This setup slashed gas use in half compared to a regular engine, which was a big deal at the time. The magic behind the hybrid vehicle came from something called hybrid synergy drive. That's just a fancy way of saying the car could switch between the gas engine and the electric motor depending on what made the most sense at that moment. It even had a setup that recycled energy from braking, storing it in a nickel-metal hydride battery. That meant less wasted energy and more time driving without needing to stop for gas. The hybrid took off, and soon the car maker was sticking that same technology into bigger vehicles like the Camry Hybrid and the Highlander Hybrid.